Up today and decided to buy 2 more bus stamps because I was bored. Nah.
The music business is a very tricky thing. One day you're on the top of the world, and the next you're at your lowest point. So who might be the next to hit a low? Well, it's looking like it might be Lil Pump. Make sure to leave a like and comment the keyword to enter the giveaway. Number 5. Arrested again. If there's one stigma or a stereotype that surrounds young rappers like Lil Pump, it's that they are prone to being arrested for one reason or another. Granted, not all the rappers of the new generation get arrested, but between Lil Pump, 6ix9ine, and many others, it's becoming a rather upsetting trend. And for Lil Pump alone, it's becoming a bit of a problem. And by that I mean it's a big problem. Just recently he was arrested in Denmark. You may be wondering why. Well, apparently he had some marijuana, which is illegal in that country, and that alone is a minor offense. But then again, he decided to use his phone to do an Instagram stream, and through that stream, he decided to go and insult the cops while they weren't paying attention. Something tells me that that's a really bad idea. Sure enough, it was, and they noticed, and they also noticed him flipping them off, which led him to getting arrested again. That's almost a record for sure. But wait, it gets even better. While the flipping the bird charge was dropped, Lil Pump did have to go and pay a fine for the marijuana, which he did, and it was about $800, which is a small charge, but a hassle for sure. And according to sources, because of these 2 combined incidents, Lil Pump isn't allowed to go back to Denmark for 2 whole years. That's a lot of time. And it's hardly the first time that Lil Pump got himself arrested for a crime. Earlier in 2018, he fired a weapon in his apartment, and according to his manager, someone tried to rob his family home, and when they did, Lil Pump shot at him. This would be textbook self-defense, but things didn't add up, especially when this wasn't his weapon, but rather the family's. And they were investigated for having a weapon so open to those who might need it. He also didn't call the cops, and the calls were called on him, and the weapon was hidden from sight when they arrived, so they found it after they searched the place. Yeah, not cool. Later that year, Lil Pump was arrested again, this time for driving without a license, which a lot of young rappers seem to be doing, and he was sent to jail for a month. It was supposed to be a few months, but something clearly happened that led him to his early release. So what does this all have to do with Lil Pump quitting rap music? Well, for that, you have to look no further than his fellow rapper 6ix9ine, who has been arrested, jailed, and is awaiting sentencing on various crimes, a few of which could land him jail for the rest of his life. Like Lil Pump, 6ix9ine had a long string of incidents with the police and other people, landing him in court more times than not. 6ix9ine got out on all of them in one form or another, but this time, the outlook doesn't look so good. So for Lil Pump, if he doesn't pump his brakes literally, he could be ending up in a cell like the one 6ix9ine has. Granted, all of his crimes are very minor in comparison, but as this younger generation of rappers have shown, they have the brass and the gully to do whatever they think they want to do, no matter the consequence. After all, he did flip off the cops, so what's to say he doesn't escalate it next time? If anything's possible, I bet you 6ix9ine thought he'd never end up in jail like he is now. And if Lil Pump thinks the same thing, he might do a crime that he can't worm his way out of, and then he'll really be out of the rap game in a much more permanent sense. Number 4. His music is starting to trail off. Lil Pump is an interesting case when it comes to his rise to music, for he wasn't exactly born to it. Rather, he had to be guided to it by a friend. You see, he grew up in Florida and his parents got a divorce at a very young age, and because of this, he acted out quite a bit, which is typical for a young child to a point. But then he started to get busted in school for various things, and this led him to being kicked out of those schools for various reasons. But throughout all of that, he met a guy named Smoke Perp, who was a rapper, and it would be this guy who would change Lil Pump's life for the better for a time. You see, it started all back in 2015. Smoke Perp asked Lil Pump to freestyle for him on a track he was making. He did, and it was a big hit, especially when they put it on the service SoundCloud. It got millions of hits. Lil Pump started to crank out music, and then in 2017, he released his most famous song, Gucci Gang.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
And that got him the attention that he needed to truly become a name in the industry. And all that sounds great, and it most certainly is inspiring. But here's the thing, while Gucci Gang did go triple platinum, none of his other tracks have. Many of them not even gotten close. The only other big song he's done technically is I Love It, where he teamed up with Kanye West to break it down.
Your boyfriend is a dork, make loving.
But even with the A-list star power, all it really got Lil Pump was more notoriety. because it was one of the dirtiest songs ever performed. And if you look up the song, you'll see where it debuted and you'll see how really dirty it got. If you look at some of his other singles, some of them did hit Billboard Top 100, but not as high as Gucci Gang. Even I Love It only hit the top of the charts in Canada, not the United States. Lil Pump is about to release a new album called Harvard Dropout, but had to cancel a tour that was going to promote it. Why? We don't know. All he noted was unforeseen circumstances. So let's be optimistic here and say that Harvard Dropout does alright, maybe even has a hit single, and really that's not enough in this day and age. If he's not careful, he'll be a one-hit wonder, more or less. And that could cost him a great deal, especially money. And speaking of which, number 3, spend the money.
What you just got?
We just bought the whole team bust downs. Everybody got a bust down.
You almost have to wonder just how these young rappers function at times, because they tend to spend the money that they don't have, or they blow it all away with no care of what's coming up next. Lil Pump is the embodiment of this notion, more or less, for he's never been afraid to buy all kind of fancy cars, fancy jewelry, and much more. And this habit will lead to many problems. Sure, his contract with Warner Brothers has got him a contract worth $8 million, and to add to this, his songs and royalties will get you around $10 million in net worth. But as I just said, he's not afraid to spend money, and I mean a lot of it. Case in point, he's having a feud right now with J. Cole, and even put out a diss track using the rapper's name. But J. Cole fired back and noted that Lil Pump is going to go broke because all the things he's buying, and mainly cars, aren't going to be worth as much when he wants to sell them. Ironically, Lil Pump took this to heart and apparently started to invest in real estate. But here's the rub: instead of just starting out small and working his way up, he instead decided to buy a $4 million house. And not because he thought it was a good investment or that he could flip it for a good price. Oh no, he did it by his own admission because he was bored. I'm serious, he bought a multi-million-dollar house because he was bored.
I went and dropped $4.5 million on the house. You know why? Cause scat.
Who does that? So forget just being out of the rap game. If he's not careful, he'll be broke and begging to be back in it. Now, yes, he could wise up and pull a vanilla ice, become a great guy in real estate, but that's something he has to dedicate himself to, and based on his past experiences, he doesn't seem like the type of guy to do that. And so if he doesn't turn things around, he'll be on the backslide in a very bad way. Number 2, controversy breeds trouble.
More police station. Police station.
What a police station.
If there's one thing that the modern rap era breeds without any help or pressure, is controversy. Seriously, look at the most biggest rappers in the game right now, male or female, it doesn't matter, and you'll see the various acts of insanity, plenty of arrest, and loads upon loads of controversial lyrics. I Love That is just one example that is tied to Lil Pump, but trust me, when I say he's got more, he's got more. But the problem is that Lil Pump doesn't just restrict himself to being controversial with his music and his music alone. He's made numerous posts on social media sites signaling various controversial claims, such as him having a daughter with former Nickelodeon star Miranda Cosgrove, even though no one really knows if they've ever dated, knowing Lil Pump, likely not, or about him stating that he was a real Harvard dropout, which is insulting to many because it takes a really good and smart person to go to Harvard. Seriously, look at the qualifications and then recall that Lil Pump has been kicked out of multiple schools, so tell me, do you really think he made it to Harvard at all? Exactly. So when you add this all up, what does it lead to? Well, it ends up to him being a volatile personality of sorts that isn't really afraid to say what he wants and when he wants. And while that may be okay for the rap industry, and it only goes so far, many singers and rappers have been kicked from their labels because of their behavior. So if Lil Pump isn't careful, he might be next. Number 1, the uncertain future of the rap industry. Rap has been and almost always will be the most controversial music genre since its inception. Rappers have come and gone in both terms of the rap industry and the fact that they've lost their lives for various reasons. Being a rapper is a dangerous thing at times, if you're not careful. And then there's the fact that Lil Pump is just one fish in a very large ocean of an industry. And while it's true that he's earned his way up into the industry, many more are trying to do the same right now. In fact, Lil Pump is part of the SoundCloud generation where singers are trying to put their music on the service to get noticed by others. So in a way, he's got an infinite amount of competition, and that can lead to him being bounced out by someone better if he doesn't produce. And all of this negates the fact that the industry of music is a pressure cooker of a place. You're always under pressure to do one thing or the other. That pressure has taken down various artists over the years. Lil Pump could be up for that. Even if it didn't, him not paying attention to his place in the industry could lead to an early dismissal. Everything is fair game when just about everyone in that industry wants the exact same thing. So, what do you guys think of this breakdown of why Lil Pump is done as a rapper? Also, do you think the points that I've made are logical? Or do you think I'm making some big gaps? Or do you think of another reason why he might be quitting the business? Or if not him, who do you think is next on the list? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Hey, just a reminder that we're changing up the giveaways. From now on, we're offering the Galaxy Note 9, the one that comes with the exclusive Fortnite skin, the new iPhone X Max, which we'll pre-order for you, and the new Apple Watch Series 4, which we'll also pre-order for you. The winner gets to decide between these three. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, drop a like, and comment the hidden message in the video for a chance to win. You got nothing to lose. Go for it.